Continue with ICT, and in studio I have a guest, Vyonne Kagondu, co-founder of ICP Kushite East Africa. Thank you so much for joining us, and this topic is really exciting. Let's first start with the future of work. How does the future work environment look like?
Well, currently I think we're kind of living in the future post-coronavirus.
Yes.
After coronavirus,
it was the catalyst.
Yeah, it was a catalyst, exactly what you said.
Yeah.
We moved to a place where from people who, you know, previously we thought that we have to sit in an office, we have to work together. But right now, we find that you can work anywhere in the world, you can work from home, you can work with anyone in the world from the comfort of your room, from the comfort of... I run an organization called Kenya Blockchain Ladies DAO, and we encourage mothers to work online. So we have situations where we have women raising their kids while working, doing transcription, writing, doing blockchain work, offering services. So the future of work will mostly rotate about us here at home, Africa, because we have a lot of young people. They say that the next population will be from Africa, from Asia, offering services to the rest of the world. So in this global village that we're sort of developing in, the future of work looks like more online work, more internet-based work, more software work. Yeah, that's
so
basically
we have to
it.
embrace ICT.
Of course, there's no way around it.
What does it mean then for Africa and the growing youth in Africa? What opportunities are there for them?
It's kind of, we can't really define them at this moment because it's kind of like the situation. I normally use the example of the postman and Facebook.
Yes.
When Facebook came into the picture and social media, the people working at the post office probably lost all their jobs because communication was made to be faster, more efficient. But how many jobs came out of social media? How many social media managers do we have? How many influencers do we have? How many jobs came out of it? So right now we can't really say the jobs of tomorrow are not yet formed because recently we had a career of someone advertising online that they are looking for a meme king, someone to provide memes.
We probably even have to describe to people what memes mean.
Exactly. Well, those funny things you see on WhatsApp
someone
status.
Is actually hired to come up with memes.
Exactly,
And it's a great way of communicating.
And it's a great way of spreading news, marketing, and the likes. So the future of work, we have to say it will be digital, it will be online, it will be on the phone, on our computers, on devices, and it will be new. The thing that's really important is we have to be ready as Africans. We have to be educated, we have to have the culture of learning and unlearning, we have to have the spirit of interacting with the rest of the world. And Kenya, I believe, is a leader so far. When we look at the youth, we look at how they're offering services. We had that time when there was a online writing crisis in Kenya. When we look at influencers, we've been doing so much. Yesterday there was a report I saw, and in the industry of startups, ICT startups, we've raised the highest in Africa. So we are really ahead of everyone else.
What's making Kenya ahead? You just mentioned, and I saw that story where Kenyans were writing papers for students in Harvard and other universities around the world. What makes Kenya ahead?
My personal belief is that because of the education, highly educated youth, the high internet penetration in the country, and the catalyst would be youth unemployment. So because Kenyans already knew, I remember when I was finishing uni, I knew I was going into the unemployment world. But you knew some people, this guy or a rumor somewhere that someone has made it online, so you go through that route. So with that, we find a lot, like for example, where I work at full-time is called Kushite ICP Hub. We train a lot of developers on how they can find jobs and they can become certified blockchain developers, how they can provide services of blockchain development to the rest of the world, how they can build their own products and get investments from all over the world. So, and also by the fact that we speak good English, by the fact that we have fintech penetration, by the fact that our internet is very fast compared to the rest of the world, it's really making money move in Kenya. Yeah.
So do you think it's also perhaps time for the education system to change and be a little bit open-minded? Because I don't know any college, university or school that teaches or offer a degree on, say, social media management and stuff like that. Yet even those universities actually have social media managers. Is it true? I find that very interesting. I'm like, do you offer the course? No, but they're advertising on Facebook. They even have memes on Facebook. So should our systems, education systems, begin to change? Should we even be a bit more open-minded that perhaps for people to get a job, they do not need a degree?
Yeah, well, I believe yesterday we were having a conversation on Twitter, and we were saying how 844 created the culture of competition, the culture of hard work amongst Kenyans. What's important, as I mentioned, the jobs of tomorrow are not really there yet. What's important in this fourth industrial revolution is having the culture of learning and unlearning and relearning. Because you can, for example, a financial economics graduate, but I went into blockchain just because it's new and it's an emerging technology. So if we're looking at the skills that are necessary for us to excel in this industry, in this global revolution that we are having, we need to always be updated. Like, not that we need to, like the school system always need to update its curriculum every now and then, but needs to have the culture of teaching their kids, their students, that, by the way, you can teach yourselves. You can be at whatever age and still go back to your books, go to the internet and study. And there's a school that does that so well called Moringa School. It's a software boot camp in Kenya, and what they do, they teach you for like 1 hour in the day, and the rest of the day you're teaching yourself. And that's the culture we need to have. Not that we need to sit in a classroom and read and be taught by a teacher, but rather you need to be ready to be learning every single day and updating your skills every single day online.
And what does it mean then for even economies around Africa? I just did a story on farming and agriculture, and for a very long time, especially in Kenya, our biggest foreign earner has been agriculture, the flowers, and also tourism. But now it looks like another economy is completely coming up. What is Kenya and other African countries, how are we likely to look like in the coming years?
So far, I think we are doing so well. What I really wonder is how the next generation of our students, there's a phase we are going through where we are learning a lot and we are doing a lot of TikToks and a lot of social media. But how do we balance that with the African values that we have? But in terms of skills and education-wise, we just need to have that discipline, because when I look at a country like Nigeria, initially it was way ahead of us, even with foreign direct FDI for foreign investment. It was doing way better than us, but then it created a sort of reputation for itself, like a reputation that didn't appeal to the rest of the world. But for Kenya, we're already offering services to the rest of the world digitally. But can we create a reputation of hardworking youth, disciplined youth, services that are quality, services that are people who are reliable? So in terms of getting, providing services online and human resource services to the rest of the world, we're already there. But what I would take caution on is, can we provide a disciplined students, disciplined youth who can actually serve the rest of the world and create a positive reputation for all of us?
And when it comes to payments, I've seen people a lot of times complain on social media, especially in Africa and in Kenya, and they say they get into some of these platforms that are international, for example, even YouTube, but their payments are quite different from developed countries. Is that likely to change, and that we're going to have an equal playground for everyone around the world?
Well, that's where our industry comes in, blockchain technology.
Yes, yes.
For example, ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, we have, I know it's not well received by the rest of the world, but we use cryptocurrencies.
Yes, yeah.
And cryptocurrencies, they even the playing ground. They don't really know which country you're from. They don't really mark which region, how old you are, what's your credit score, and the likes, like traditional financial systems. So what we've seen a lot of Kenyan youth, there's a time Kenya was even ranked one of the highest receptors of cryptocurrencies for both male and female. So before we used to have sort of discriminatory payment systems for our online workers like PayPal, bank transfer, but a lot of Kenyan youths are moving onto the cryptocurrency side because the best way to use cryptocurrency is to earn it, is to get paid through it, because it's fast. Like for example, if you earn through ICP, it's immediate. It's the fastest, one of the fastest cryptocurrencies. You can send anywhere in the world. It takes exactly the same amount of time for me to send money to you and to send money to anyone, say Indonesia, exactly the same. It really evens the playing ground. So that's why I call it the internet money. It's what we need right now as we move to this like online world. It's online money.
Yes. To my last question, there's something interesting that you said when we started the interview, that we really can tell the future of the workspace. But how can we ensure as Kenya and as Africa that we also have a say, and whatever direction it takes, it is going to benefit Africa?
We just have to be present, and because right now everything we do is monitored. You can talk online, just a simple person, anyone, KBC can post this story online and the whole world is available to see. So we have to keep participating on the digital platforms that are presented to us, but at the same time, makes sense. Keep on being updated with information and the point is that we need, as we wrap up, the skills that are necessary are sorry. Sorry, you got distracted. Anyway, so I was saying we have to keep updated on the skills, and I advise, I highly, let me just shamelessly market myself, but at Kushite ICP Hub, we train developers on how to build on blockchain technology. And if you follow us, we can train you and certify you as a blockchain developer. That's one of the ways we can keep updated on the skills and have meaningful conversations.
And make sure that you're ahead of the game. Well, thank you so much, Vyonne, for joining us tonight. We were talking about the future of work and the importance of ICT.